Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new review Wednesday. For today's review Wednesday, I'm going to be reviewing for you guys the sort of newly launched K-Beauty loose powders. Now these were launched a while ago, so I'm really sorry for the delay, but I wanted to make this video as informational and as entertaining as I could for you guys, and that took me a little while, so please forgive me for this delay. Now I've had these since March because these were supposed to launch in March, but because of the lockdown and everything, the launch got delayed. So I'm going to be talking you through a lot of things that I've noticed about these powders. So I'm going to throw up timestamps right here so you know the different times what is going to start, and if you want to jump to that part you can right now, but if you want to know my in-depth review and everything that I feel about these powders, then please keep on watching. Let's lay down the basic information for you guys so that you guys know everything that you need to know about these powders. These powders are priced at ₹7.99 each, and you get about 10 grams of product in each of the packaging. These are available online on Nykaa right now, and I'm sure they would be available in store once they can be made available in store. These come in 3 different types of finishes. There's a translucent powder, then there are setting powders, and then there's an illuminating powder. Now these are enriched with avocado and mango butter, which is so exciting. Let's get on to the packaging now. These powders come housed in this cardboard box with the signature K-Beauty logo as well as the style going on in there, and the name is mentioned on the top as well, which makes it really easy if you want to store it in the box itself. The name is mentioned there. Once you open it, there are a couple of security reinforcements that you need to pull out so that you can get to the powder, and the powder comes in this fiber plastic sort of a casing which is see-through, so you can easily see the powder. Again, the top is monogrammed with the K-Beauty initial, so that's really cool. All of the product information is also mentioned on the bottom of the product as well, so even if you get rid of the cardboard, you have all of the information that you need right here, which is great. I really like that. And once you open up the packaging, you will see that there is a sieve inside there, which makes it really easy for it to be picked up on a brush without creating a mess. That is something I like. There's also a stopper on top, so once you put it back in, the powder is pressed back into the sieve, so it doesn't go everywhere, but it's nice and safe in there. Overall, I really like the packaging. It does remind me a lot of the Huda Beauty Easy Bake as well as the pack powders, but what those powders lack and this one has is the above stopper that they have, which goes on top of the sieve perfectly. That's something super unique that they've done. Another thing that's going to be common with all of the powders is the fact that they're super finely milled. They're very soft, they're very non-drying on the skin, which is something I personally love because I belong to the dry skin category, and powders in general tend to scare me because I don't want to feel drier than what I already am. Alright, so these powders are not drying on the skin, which is great, but they still absorb a lot of sebum and oil, and they also make sure that your makeup stays in place throughout the day, doesn't move, doesn't break down, which is just so great without making you dry. Love it. I love it. If you've ever tried a Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder, if you know the texture, it's very similar to that texture, but the non-perfumed variant, which is again a better thing. Honestly, like the Huda Beauty perfume does tend to give me a little bit of headache, I won't lie. But these ones, they're not perfumed, so they're slightly better than the Huda Beauty Easy Bake. Now let's start talking about the powders individually so you know what's the deal with each one of them. I'll start off with the translucent powder. Now the translucent powder is supposed to set all over your face. It's supposed to be a nice touch-up powder. It's supposed to make your base stay in place all day long. Now it is a translucent powder. That means it will have a slight tinge of color to it. It's not a transparent powder. It's a translucent powder. Translucent means sheer. So it does have a white tint to it, a white tinge to it, if I might say so, and that is why I feel like you shouldn't be getting this. I feel like even though I don't have like really bad dark circles, it tends to give me a grayish cast, almost very slight grayish cast, and that's why I don't particularly like this one. I like the fact how they have so many different colors, so I feel like this one particularly is something you don't really need to get. Even though this is a translucent powder, it does not have flashback, so that is great. If you're someone who is already used to a translucent powder and you like the finish of a translucent powder and that's something that you're looking for, then definitely you can go ahead and get this. But if you are someone who's just getting into makeup or who's just looking for a new nice powder to set their base, I wouldn't really recommend this to you guys. The colored versions are much better. Okay, now let's get on to the setting powders. They come in 8 shades. I'm quickly going to swatch all of them for you guys so that you guys can see them in action first, and then we'll get to talking about these powders.
Smoke still clouds this fleeting high down, drowning in sleep and hide and terrified. And I when you reverse my mind.
Alright, so those were the swatches. Hope they were helpful for you guys. Now let's get on to these powders and why I freaking love them so much. Now first of all, I love the fact how they have like a nice diverse range of shades. 8 shades for a loose powder is a really nice amount of shades. It's actually the same amount as Huda Beauty's as well, and because these are super sheer, they are not high on coverage at all. So if you're looking for a full coverage powder, this is not the one for you. These are very sheer, very lightweight. These won't really change the color of your foundation much. They would just set everything into a place and give it the lightest amount of tint. I would suggest that you go for a shade lighter than your skin tone if you are looking for an under eye powder, because you would want them to look slightly brighter. But if you're looking something to set the rest of your face, you want to go for a shade that would slightly match you. Now again, as I've said, these are sheer, so one shade would work for a variety of skin tones, and that's why I love it. Now if you want to know my powder shade, it's almond. It suits me perfectly. I'm going to quickly show you how it looks on my face just by itself with no product underneath. As you can see, it doesn't give you a lot of coverage, but it just gives a nice soft focus effect to your skin. So if you're looking for just an everyday powder that would just go on top of your skin, would make sure that your oils and sebums don't come through that much throughout the day, then you would really like this powder, because it's not going to add a lot of coverage or cakiness, but it would just add a nice veil of product on your skin. Now I have to add the fact that I like to use these powders with a brush and not with a sponge. I see with the sponge, the powder tends to stick to the sponge and not transfer that well onto my eye. I feel like these powders are something that would work better in a drier state. So a brush which is dry picks the powder really nicely, distributes it really nicely. But a sponge which is a wet or a damp thing, it tends to stick onto the powder and it does not transfer that well. Which also brings me to the fact that these powders don't come with its own sponge or anything. But I think that's the case with most powders these days, because they're realizing that people already have their own tools. Fit Me doesn't come with a sponge, Easy Bake doesn't come with a sponge. If a sponge is something that you were looking forward to in this product, you would be slightly disappointed with that. Now these powders would keep your face fresh from anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, which is a really nice wear time. You won't need to touch up your face for 4 to 6 hours, which according to me is amazing. If you're from my skin type, then you wouldn't want to retouch your face throughout the day. For me, these powders lasted on me throughout the day. I didn't need to touch up for about 9 to 10 hours, which is so great. But if you're slightly oily or combination, then 4 to 6 hours is what I would say it would last on you. Alright, let's come on to the illuminating powder. This is what it looks like. It comes with the golden cap. It's really luxurious looking. I really like the packaging. Now I do have to say again, this is super softly milled, but it does have a bit of shimmer in there. Like there is a veil of sheen and then there's the shimmer. The shimmer can fly away. A lot of it does fly away, so you're just left with the sheen, but there is definitely a shimmer in there. So if that's something you want to stay away from, then you wouldn't really like this powder. But if you don't mind a little bit of speck of shimmer here and there, then you would absolutely love this powder. It's a very soft and just gentle illuminator. You can build it up to a highlighter, like a beaming, blinding highlighter with the help of setting sprays and all of that. But if you just want like a nice, soft, glowing from within sort of a skin, then this is the one to go for. It just goes on your skin so beautifully, doesn't emphasize the texture at all. Like it doesn't emphasize the texture. Whatever you have is whatever will show through. You have to keep that in mind. It doesn't hide texture, but it doesn't also emphasize texture. So please do keep that in mind. Overall, beautiful product. Alright, let's quickly sum up all of the pros and cons for you guys so that you guys can make your own decisions. Now these pros and cons are going to be the common pros and cons, but I've talked about my preferences beforehand, so keep them in mind as well. So we're just going to be talking about the common pros and cons that apply to all of these powders. Let's start off with the pros. Pro number 1, the packaging is really easy and convenient to use. Pro number 2, the powders are really softly milled and beautiful. Pro number 3, they're non-drying on the skin. Pro number 4, they're super long lasting. Pro number 5, they're not cakey. You can let them up and they will not get cakey. And pro number 6, they do not have a flashback, which is really amazing. Now coming to the cons, con number 1, the price can look slightly steep for the amount that you're getting. You're only getting 10 grams, which is not a lot. You get about 20 grams of product in the Fit Me powder, which is priced at rupees 6.99, and these are 7.99. So just keeping that in front of you, like as a comparison, just so that you guys know. Oh, also, which does bring me to the fact that these are cruelty free. So yeah, that's something that's missing in Maybelline Fit Me. Just again letting you know. And con number 2, there is no sponge, so you need to have your own tool for the application of these products. So that is a con. So that is 7 versus 2. I would highly recommend these powders to you guys, but as I said, the translucent powder, according to me, is something that you can skip because it's not super wava boom. And when it comes to the illuminating powder, please make sure you don't already have like 10,000 highlighters lying around, because then it would be another highlighter for you with nothing extra to offer, just that it's a nice sheen over the face. And if you already have something that would give you a nice sheen, then you don't need the illuminating powder. The setting powder is something you should be looking out for, because I really like how it makes the skin look and how it just blurs out the skin and makes it look so nice and smooth without drying it out. So setting powder is something you can check out definitely. Other than that, I feel like translucent powder, just skip it, not required. And yes, that's gonna be it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, then don't forget to comment and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. Also, let me know what other products you guys would want me to review, and I would love to review them for you guys. And I will see you guys next time. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.